Hey, it's the nerdy sports fan. And sorry it's been a while, guys. Got myself a new gig and had to take some time on that. So, there's a lot going on in the NFL right now. Let's dig into it. Free agency hit us yesterday. It's not really, it's the legal tampering period. Really, it's just the days that they can actually tell you about the deals that they've been working on for months. Um, yeah, nobody's buying this whole legal tampering thing, right? Yeah, nobody just started talking yesterday. Um, and nobody's just talking contract figures tomorrow. Yeah, this is all hashed out. Just like before, contract figures are coming out well before they're supposed to, according to the collective bargaining agreement. Speaking of, the collective bargaining agreement changed. They got a new one. Labor peace in the NFL for the next 10 years. There's going to be another game on the season. There's going to be more teams in the playoffs. Man, exciting times we live in today. Yes, with the COVID-19 virus making everybody scramble to go get toilet paper for some reason for a respiratory disease. I've got a case of the stuff sitting around. If anybody wants to sign over the title for their brand new Ford GT, I am more than welcome to bargain for that. But in the absence of that, we can talk sports in the comments too. So, big news today is that Tom Brady has left officially the New England Patriots and he's joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is big news in my household because my wife called that Brady was leaving the Pats before she even knew any of this crap was going on. So I owe her a random debt now because that's how things work in my household. But going to Tampa Bay is something I was actually talking about with some friends this morning. So, Tampa Bay is one of the scarier teams that he could have gone to. They have a solid defense. They can't stop the pass, but man, were they dominant against the run. Fixing the pass defense is a DB or a safety away. That's something they can draft. There's still people they can trade for. I'm not necessarily worried about that. They didn't have the greatest offensive line. So they need to use some of that Brady magic that he's been working with in New England for some time now to just get the ball out fast. He's good at that. Okay, he's going to dissect a defense well, and he's going to get the ball out of his hands within like a half a second. It's the reason the Bills never get after him, even though they have a fantastic defense. So, yeah, I'm not really worried about that. The fact of the matter is he has the best receiver group in the NFL. Tom Brady with the best group of receivers in the NFL is scary. Just, he's 43 and he should be worrying about the COVID right now. But outside of whooping cough taking him early, I expect them to be in the playoffs. I expect them to do some damage in the playoffs. Because Bruce Arians knows his shit. And now he's got himself yet another quarterback who's well on his way to retirement. We saw what he did with the last one. So, yeah, I think they're pretty good down there. They got some minor tweaks, but Brady changes the face of that franchise. Now you don't have a quarterback who's gifting 2 turnovers to the opposite team every single game. You might actually have a good defense. Who knows? They're not going to be on the field all damn day now. And Mike Williams, Chris Godwin, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. That's a really talented group getting passes from, let's face it, the greatest quarterback of all time. So yeah, I'm just happy he's not in my division anymore. As a Bills fan, there's more things going on in the AFC East. The Bills traded away many draft picks for Stephon Diggs. I'm not sure I agree with how much they gave up. All right? But they filled their most glaring hole. Number 1 wide receiver. Was he the number 2 target in Minnesota? Absolutely. That's why the guy was bitching so damn much. Okay? I'm not saying he's better than Adam Thielen. I'm not saying he was better in that offense than Adam Thielen. I am saying he is a talented number 1 wideout. And they had another number 1 wideout who just happened to be better for that offense, better for Kirk Cousins. So, yeah, he wanted to be the man. That's it. Now he is. So maybe he'll shut up and just play and do really well. Considering Josh Allen can throw a football to Mars if he felt like it, Stefon Diggs, as fast as he is going to have a lot of travel down the field this season, and he's going to get fed. So I think with the speed they now have at wide receiver between Diggs and John Brown, keeping Robert Foster, I think there's going to be some real excitement to watch in Buffalo from that group. Assuming, of course, Josh Allen at least makes the kind of strides that he made last season. He really did improve his completion percentage. So, yeah, this could be interesting for Buffalo. Most of the action for Buffalo, though, is on the defensive side. They've got multiple defensive linemen, including one Mario Addison, because, they always sign the Carolina players. Both the GM and the coach came from Carolina's system, so they're very familiar with those folks. They also got their former number 1 draft pick from a few years ago, Vernon. They picked up a defensive lineman from Seattle. They picked up a linebacker from frickin' Pittsburgh. They picked up another linebacker from the Saints. Lots of defense. They're a defense-first team, defense-first coaching staff. It'd be nice to see some more offense. We'll wait. They can use some upgrades on the line. They're probably going to draft offense. They gave away a lot of draft picks, but they filled the number 1 hole. It's going to be interesting. So, the Jets, they picked up Quentin Spain. Not Quentin Spain. No, Spain's with the Bills. Conor McGregor. That makes sense. Offensive lineman. Either way, offensive line was a big need for the Jets. Interior offensive line was the worst part of this team. Just ask Sam Darnold. All right? He had defensive linemen sitting in his lap within a few moments of snapping the ball multiple times. This team will get better almost immediately with better interior offensive line play. So it makes sense that getting a Conor McGregor, getting just any sort of line help up there makes sense. That's why they were targeting those things. So I'm happy that the Jets are addressing their number 1 need. Protect that damn quarterback. Now, it'll be interesting to see now, having some sort of protection in front of him, what Adam Gase can do. Because last year was a tire fire. It was absolutely atrocious. So, full off season, complete control. Let's see what happens. Miami's filling holes left and right. They're just, they stole Kyle Van Noy from the Patriots. They have gotten some linemen. They picked up Shaq Lawson, I want to say, from the Bills. They're really plugging holes. They've had a lot of holes as a franchise. But as the team with the most cap space, it's good to see them actually spending it, filling these holes, and being aggressive this offseason. They have really dipped into the Patriot pool. Okay, this is what coaches do. All right, coaches, they come from a system that they know. They want to create a culture. They pull teammates from their previous team over as soon as they can so they can build on that culture. That's what happened last offseason. That's what happened this offseason so far. And it will continue. Okay, they're going to continue that into next offseason. That's what's happening with the Bills right now with all the damn Carolina people. Yeah, lots of former Patriot players are going to be going to Miami getting contracts to be leaders in the locker room. Expect it. But you think you got the right coach there in Flores, so just roll with it, okay? The Patriot players are going to put that culture in place that he wants. And let's face it, they're all just better than what you had on the team, too. So if they can make some progress, they really did well with Devontae Parker last year. So, yeah, there's positions that you can grow. Devontae Parker's probably the only one that comes to mind, really, right now. But, yeah, getting some growth out of that system, getting a second year with Flores, it'll be interesting. Now, still, more free agency news. Craziness going on. DeAndre Hopkins, arguably the best wide receiver in the league. Houston traded him. Idiotic. They got for him a second-round draft pick and Chris Johnson. Did they need an upgrade at running back? Absolutely. I understand that. How do you only get a running back, which really should not have a lot of trade value, and a second-round pick for the best wide receiver in the league, arguably, no doubt top 3, when the Bills had to give up a first-round pick to pick up Stefon Diggs? Definitely not a top 3 wide receiver. Definitely not a top 10 wide receiver. Definitely a number 1 receiver, but yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Bill O'Brien is giving away first-round draft picks for Laremy Tunsil. All right? Didn't even sign him to a long-term deal. Gave the house away for Laremy Tunsil. They traded so much away for that dude. And they could not get first-round draft picks for Jadeveon Clowney and DeAndre Hopkins. Laremy Tunsil's good. Good. He's not arguably one of the best at his position. Jadeveon Clowney and DeAndre Hopkins are definitely, arguably, some best players at their position. You can't get a first-round draft pick for those levels of talent. You give away as much as you did for Tunsil. God, Bill O'Brien is a freaking clown. He may be a great coach, okay? But being in charge of the front office, he is giving away too much. He's not getting enough in return. The league is fleecing this man in trades. So it's got to be frustrating for a Texans fan. It's got to be really exciting as an Arizona Cardinals fan, though. You just got yourself DeAndre Hopkins. You didn't trade much away to get him. You got yourself Jordan Phillips, who's great defensive lineman. You gave away Chris Johnson. Sure, you had his replacement in-house, okay? They're keeping Kenyon Drake. Great news. There's a lot going on in Arizona right now. That wide receiver group is now dangerous, okay? You have the number 1 guy in Hopkins. You've got Fitzgerald still. And Christian Kirk was not a chump last year, all right? So that provided to young Kyler Murray, keeping Kenyon Drake, adding to the defense, team's going to be scary. All right, mark my words now. With what San Francisco's given away, what they've lost, not given away, with the Super Bowl hangover being a thing, a serious thing, and Arizona increasing what they've got going on, and Arizona really giving the 49ers some serious problems last year with a depleted roster. I'm willing to bet that the 49ers are going to have a really hard time in their own division. because, I mean, they've already got Seattle to deal with too. And let's not forget about the Rams. Okay? They're now past their Super Bowl hangover. And they still have Todd Gurley. They still have Jalen Ramsey. They still had Jared Goff. They still have all those skill position players on offense. There's a lot still there. So, yeah, the 49ers are going to have a hard time winning the division again, let alone getting to the Super Bowl again. It's going to be really interesting there. Now, speaking of the 49ers, they let go of DeForest Buckner for a first-round draft pick. I get it. But on a defensive line that had Armstead and Nick Bosa, Buckner was still the best defensive lineman. Fight me. Okay? That guy does so much for that line, for the interior. The Colts could really be dangerous now. They gave away a first-round draft pick. Sure. They're in win-now mode. All right? They just picked up Phillip Rivers. They just picked up DeForest Buckner. With what they already had, which is T.Y. Hilton, Marlon Mack, and the best offensive line in the league, and a Leonard-led defense, which isn't bad already. You add to what they already have Phillip Rivers and DeForest Buckner. This team better win the division. All right? They should. They really should. A quarterback that knows what he's doing. A defense that's very strong now. Yeah. The Colts are my new favorite to win that division. Houston gave away too much when they lost DeAndre Hopkins. Tennessee did not do enough so far in this offseason. They picked up a retread defensive lineman, Vic Beasley. He's not the 2016 Vic Beasley. Okay, injuries kind of derailed what he had going on in Atlanta. Okay, you needed to pick up a lineman. I get it, but Beasley, likely they went away from him for the right reasons in Atlanta. You signed your quarterback long term. Congrats to Ryan Tannehill. You worked your ass off for that contract last season, and you earned it, all right? And now look at that draft again, all right? Let's look back at the draft where Ryan Tannehill came into the league. He was the third quarterback taken, behind Jameis Winston, who just got the boot from his team because they signed Tom Brady, and Marcus Mariota, who's officially the backup quarterback in Oakland now. Vegas. Sorry. Vegas. It's going to take a while, Raiders fans. I'm sure it's going to take a while for you, too, to accept it. But yeah. Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, 1-2. A few picks later, Ryan Tannehill goes. Now, he's got himself a long-term deal. Real quarterback money. $60 million guaranteed, I thought. Like $118 million contract, if memory serves. And the only quarterback from that draft still worth talking about. Looking back on drafts can be fun, especially when you know you were right about people. So I've got a great big smile on my face right now. Derrick Henry got a franchise tag. Dak Prescott got a franchise tag. Amari Cooper got a $100 million contract extension. But Dallas spent so much money on offense, they had to let go of their defense. They lose their top corner to Miami, who made him the highest paid corner in the league, mind you. But yeah, there's been so much going on in the league. It's in-frickin-sane. I love it. Okay? The world needed this. Now, maybe it's just football fans. I understand. But there's a lot of football fans in this country. And with what's going on with this crazy virus that's got everybody panicked, something to keep your mind off of it is wonderful. Something to keep your mind off of the fact that your crazy neighbor is hoarding ammo and toilet paper again really helps. Okay? Most of us that have our shit together are not hoarding. We're not out there telling people that it's the end of the damn world. All right? We're just looking for something to distract us from all the idiots out there that are. And this helps. This helps so much. There's so much football action going on right now, and I love it. I can't stop talking about it. Yeah, it's the most wonderful time of year for me. All the free agency changes to draft boards is going to be extremely, extremely interesting. There's a lot of lower tier free agents moving around. You know, Denver got themselves an interior lineman. Let's talk like the offensive line for Detroit is going just elsewhere. Blake Martinez going to the Giants. There's a lot going on. So many free agents, so many new teams, so many new deals. And it's dominated by the Brady conversation. Yeah. But just having conversation about something that's not a damn virus is wonderful. So sorry I even brought it up, guys. There's a lot of football, but I'm just glad that football is saving my consciousness, my headspace from all this crap going on in the news right now. Because it's going to be nonsense. All right? I'm not saying that it's not weird right now. Okay? It's definitely weird. It's more weird because of the news hype. It's more weird because of, you know, people reacting very crazy to it. There's no ammunition left in Texas right now. Okay? Italy is shut down as a country. There's cities in America that are shut down. There's a lot of things going on. There's not a bar or a restaurant open in the city I live in. Not one. I've got, you know, a pool league that I play in. That ain't happening anymore. So socializing is becoming difficult. And for somebody like me, who obviously likes to talk a lot, that can be challenging. All right? I like people. I like talking to people, and it's part of my job. All right? I talk to people all damn day. Not being able to gather with other people and talk is ruining me. So this helps. All right? Lots of football. Lots of talking football. I'm going to be doing this all week. All right? Expect more videos later in the week as more things come out. This is a big free agency news dump right here, and my general opinions on that dump. I will be diving deeper into certain teams that have a lot of things going on in free agency and really how it's going to affect what's going on for their draft boards. That's all coming up soon too. So keep it tuned in here. I really, really appreciate you guys watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, if you like hearing my soothing voice in these trying times, if you appreciate the idea that I will give you toilet paper for a new Ford GT. Whatever it is, if you like it, keep coming back, guys. I really appreciate you guys watching again. We'll see you next time.